The next topic is static method. Now the static methods are not bound to any object or class. We can it can access instance variables. It can also help to access class variables. So their main use is it acts as a utility function like a helper method or a factory method. So here this is what we have already seen. Initialization study is the instance method, so it's able to access both instance and the class method. Then there is the class method, which is able to modify the class variable. And now we have here the static method. Now the static method here, as you can see, it is modifying the class variable, and it is also modifying an instance variable. So let us see how does it all work out. So study, and then there is this greet method. Greet method is a class method, and then I am calling here welcome. As you can see here the object has to be explicitly passed. So when I pass here my class, here I'm able to access the class variables. If I pass obj, here I'm able to access the instance variable. So it's like flexibility to do anything however I want to. If I pass a class, I can modify, I can work with the class variables. If I pass an instance variable, I can make use of the instance variable. And here help on such a class will specify all the static methods that are there. Now you see here, if it is an instance variable or a instance method or a class method, then it shows me it's a method. But with the static, it shows that it's a function. Like with print, it shows that it's a built-in function or method. Now let us see the next topic, which is encapsulation. Encapsulation is binding of data in the class. So in encapsulation, it's one of the concept where we are bundling data and the methods together, whatever we want. That is known as encapsulation. So it puts restriction on what variable, what method, who can access what, and it also avoids any accidental modification of the data. So here, to enforce this encapsulation, we make use of access specifiers. Any variable is considered to be public. If it is preceded by a single underscore, then it is protected. If it is preceded by a double underscore, then it is a private variable. So like this, we have this as the public variable. Public variable is accessible to anyone. Protected variable is accessible to itself and the child class. We will understand in detail about this child class when we go to inheritance. Then we have private variables which are accessible only to that class, and they are preceded by double underscore. So here if we see, I create an object even equal to company of even.name gives me the details. If I try to access even underscore salary, it shows me that such a variable is not there. Okay, if I try to access even.underscore department, then it works. If there is any other object which is trying to access, then it will not work. Dunderdeck method shows that there is the name, department, and as you can see here, it shows underscore company, which is my class name, double underscore salary. It shows the value here. So here this concept is known as, so like as you can see here, now if I try to access this, it gives me the private variables details also. So this is known as name mangling, where by modifying the name I am able to access the private variables value also. Usually we make use of getter and the setter methods so that these attributes, they should not be accessible outside and direct editing should not be allowed. So we make use of getter and the setter method. Let us see getter and the setter method for this private variable, which is employee salary. So here when I say at property decorator and I specify a function name, and this is the getter method. Now getter method is used to return the value. It's used to display the value. Let's say I want to display the value, I make use of the getter function. So here I say return the object name dot underscore underscore eval. So this is going to display the value. The setter method, on the other hand, it is I specify here what it is, the setter method of which getter method. So I say this is the setter method of this getter method, and here it helps to self dot underscore eval, and then this value will be put for this particular object. So here I pass EID, ename and the eval. Internally this eval is going to call the getter and the setter method. Let me just give a print here. Getter called, and let me also give a print here. Setter called. See, here getter called, this is how it works. And here when I try to display, when I try to do this here, when I try to set it, then the setter method gets called here. Now let us see why do we need these setter and the getter methods. Now the setter method and the getter methods, getter method is also known as the accessor, and the setter method is also known as the mutator. So these, they act as a way to control the access and modification of class attributes. So we encapsulate the logic, the functionality that is there within this. It helps us to improve with encapsulation and data hiding. Validation and data transformation can be easily enforced with this. It also gives us good flexibility for any kind of future changes that are there. Gives us good computed attributes, control over attribute access, helps us to easily work with all these parameters. In the next class, we will see about inheritance in detail. And then we also have the concepts around polymorphism